This week's production news includes casting for a season of Harold Pinter's one-act plays in the West End, as well as the West End transfer of Nine Night. Other news includes a new film adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats, and casting for the West End transfer of Follies. Plays Paapa Essiedu, Maggie, Steed and Keith Allen are to star in a West End season celebrating Harold Pinter's one-act plays. The plays will be performed at the Harold Pinter Theatre from September 6 to February 23 to mark the 10th anniversary of the playwright's death. Directors include Leah Williams, Jamie Lloyd, Patrick Marber. Cast also includes Rupert Graves, Gary Kemp, Phil Davis and John Sim. Producer, Jamie Lloyd. Company Paapa Essiedu, Maggie, Steed and Keith Allen to star in Harold Pinter West End season. Elizabeth Barrington and Phil Daniels are to join Jim Broadbent and Martin McDonagh's new play A Very, Very, Very Dark Matter, at the Bridge Theatre in London. Janetta Yulia-Michaels also features, making her professional debut. The play runs from October 12 to January 6, with press night on October 24. Director, Matthew Dunster. Producer, London Theatre Company. Read original story here. Natasha Gordon's debut play, Nine Night, has announced a transfer to the West End following a run earlier this year at the National Theatre. Nine Night will run from December 1 to February 9, with a press night on December 6. Director, Roy Alexander Weiss. Producers, National Theatre and Trafalgar Theatre Productions. Read original story here. Shakespeare's Globe has announced its winter season for 2018-19 at the Sam Wanamaker Playhouse in London. The season will see Robert Hastie, artistic director of Sheffield Theatres, direct Macbeth, which previews on November 7, with press night on November 14. It is paired with Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, which will be directed by Paulette Randall and will run alongside Macbeth from December. Elsewhere, the season includes a production of Raoul, The Treason Trial, Marlowe's Edward II and Shakespeare's Richard II. Ruth Jones will star in the UK tour of a new comedy The Nightingales, which opens at the Theatre Royal Bath on October 31. The show will then continue on a UK tour to Cambridge, Cardiff, Chichester and Malvern prior to a West End transfer, with venue, dates, and further casting to be announced. Author, William Gaminara. Director, Christopher Luscombe. Producer, Jenny Topper and Theatre Royal Bath Productions. Ruth Jones to star in new comedy The Nightingales. Shrapnel Theatre's Silk Road, How to Buy Drugs Online, the first production to be funded through the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, has announced its return. The production will run at Trafalgar Studios in London from August 7 to September 1, with press night on August 7. Author, Alex Oates. Director, Dominic Shaw. Producer, Paul Verides. For Shrapnel Theatre, Gecko's Missing is to return to Battersea Arts Centre for a run that was interrupted by a fire in 2016. The show will run at the London venue from September 6 to 15. Creator, Amit Lahav. Cast includes Chris Evans, Anna Finkel, Amit Lahav, Katie Lusby and Ryan Perkins. Gangnay. Producer, Rosalind Wynn. The Almeida Young Company in London will be presenting two works from July 26 to 28. Cacophony, the story of a young woman's rise to fame after speaking up at a protest, and Loki and Cassie, a love story, a look at masculinity, teenage relationships and modern society. Director, Michael Braher. Design, Cottage Araza, George Lumpkin. Sound, Katie Nicol. Lighting, Robin Fisher. Video, producer, Almeida. Participation. Frantic Assembly has announced its tour dates of The Unreturning, which tells the interwoven stories of three men coming home from war. The Unreturning opens at the Theatre Royal Plymouth on September 20 and visits locations including Liverpool, Edinburgh, Birmingham, Leicester, and Swansea, where it runs until February 23, 2019. Author, Anna Jordan. Director, Neil Bettles. Producers, Frantic Assembly and Theatre Royal Plymouth. Jared Garfield will feature in The Unreturning. Antic Disposition has announced its summer UK cathedral tour of Much Ado About Nothing starring Nicholas Osman and Shiraz Ake. The tour runs from July 9 to September 1. Directors, Ben Horselin and John Rizabero design, Lizzie Gunby composer and musical director, Nick Barstow choreographer, Lucy Pankhurst. Cast includes Florian Anderson, Alexander Berry, Tommy Burgess, Theo Landy, Molly Miles, Alfie Webster, Louis Bernard, Chris Hespel, Scott Brooks. Producer, Antic Disposition. The world premiere of The Sweet Science of Bruising has been announced to run at Southwark Playhouse in London. Based on 19th-century women's boxing, the show previews October 3rd and runs from October 5th to 27. Author, Joy Wilkinson. Director, Kirsty Patrick Ward. Design, Anna Reid. Set and costume, Max Perriman. Sound producer, Troupe London Classic Theatre has announced a 14-venue UK tour of My Mother Said I Never Should. The play details the lives of 4 women through the immense social changes of the 20th century. Touring from September 11th to November 24th, it will visit locations including Durham, Bury St Edmunds, Taunton and York. Author, Charlotte Keatley. Director, Michael Cabot. Design, Beck Palmer. Set and costume, Andy Grange. Lighting, cast, Felicity Holbrook, Tiz Marcus, Catherine Ritchie, Connie Walker. A New and Better You at London's Yard Theatre, which is a play about a YouTube demigod, opens on June 26th and runs until July 14th, with press night on June 29th. Author, Joe Harbaugh. Director, Cheryl Gallagher. Design, Beth Wells. Set and costume, Josh Grigg. Sound, Jess Bernberg. Lighting, cast includes Hannah Traylon, Alex Austin and Saffron Cumber. Musicals, Alexander Hansen and Joanna Riding have been cast in Follies at the National Theatre, when the production returns for a second run next year. The National has also announced that Anthony Nielsen will make his NT debut with a new work, The Telltale Heart, based on Edgar Allan Poe's short story of the same name. Other new work announced includes a new play by consent writer Nina Rain, called Stories and starring Claudie Blakely. Alexander Hansen and Joanna Riding join NT Follies cast. Casting has been announced for the UK tour of musical Rock of Ages. It opens at the Churchill Theatre in Bromley on September 20th, and will then tour until July 2019. Author, Chris D'Arienzo. Book, director and choreographer, Nick Winston. Cast includes Kevin Kennedy, Zoe Burkett, Jodie Steele, Luke Walsh, Lucas Rush, Andrew Carthy, Vass Constantine and Rhiannon Chesterman. Producers, Dan Looney, Adam Paulden, Jason Hayellery, Celador Worldwide and Gavin Kalin. Other casting has been announced for The Greatest Wealth at the Old Vic in London. The series of monologues celebrating the NHS, curated by Lolita Chakrabarti, will be performed from June 25th to 29. Authors, Moira Buffini, Lolita Chakrabarti, Serial Davies, Matilda Beanie, Courtshire Newland, Mira Sile, Jack Thorne and Paul Unwin. Director, Adrian Lester. Cast includes Jade Anuka, Louise English, Dervla Kirwan, Ruth Madeley, Art Malik, Mira Sile, Sophie Stone and David Threlfall. Wayne McGregor is choreographing a new film adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats, which will start shooting in the UK in November. Director, Tom Hooper. Producers, Working Title Films and Universal Studios. Wayne McGregor to choreograph big screen adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. Theatre critic Michael Billington will curate a season of screenings and discussions at BFI South Bank dedicated to Harold Pinter's work, to mark the 10th anniversary of the playwright's death. Among those contributing to the 2-month season, called Pinter on Screen, Power, Sex and Politics, are Leah Williams, Gina McKee and Jamie Lloyd. As part of the program, a series of Pinter's rare television plays will be screened, including The Dumb Waiter, Language Go Down, starring Judi Dench and Jeremy Irons, 2 versions of The Caretaker and 2 versions of The Birthday Party. Pinter on Screen runs from July 1st to August 31st. Read original story here. Olivier Award winner Clive Rowe is set to return to the East End this Christmas as he makes his Hackney Empire comeback in Aladdin at the London venue. Aladdin will run from November 24th to January 6th, with press night on the 5th of December. Director, Susie McKenna. Producer, Hackney Empire, Clive Rowe to star in Hackney Empire's 2018 pantomime. Choreographer Alexander Whitley has 3 contemporary dance works, Nemena, Ulysses Awakes, and Between Two Fires, being performed at Messams, Wiltshire on July 27 to 28. Performers include Tia Hockey, David Ledger, Leon Powelton, Caitlin Taylor and Jack Thompson.